Welcome to A Delhi Love, Ishq Muhabbat Pyar, the podcast that treats Delhiwalas to captivating conversations on living and loving all things Delhi. Delhi is not just a place, it's a state of mind, an attitude that leaves a mark on everyone who visits or calls it home. I'm Yasmin Kidwai, your host, a documentary filmmaker, former municipal councillor, and at heart, the quintessential Delhi girl. I love how Delhi is both old and new at the same time. I value its history and heritage and love exploring the new aspects of the city we share. I'm no expert, but I grew up in the gullies here, enjoyed public service here, and just like you, shared a deep passion for Delhi's enigmatic soul. Together, let's embrace the delightful contradictions that make Delhi the city it is. After all, around every corner, there must be 1,000 dastans to share in this megacity of a million conversations. If I ask you to close your eyes and imagine Delhi, tell me honestly that besides the monuments and the parks, what is another thing that you associate with Delhi? To me, it's the intimate bookstores all over Delhi. Books and bookstores are a part of Delhi. They're a prominent part of the urban scene and are still considered irreplaceable by many Delhiites, including me, despite e-retail and Amazon. I relish how a good bookshop makes me feel. Welcomed, relaxed, excited, and connected. It's like all of us are there as part of one community. And then there's the fact that cool people hang out at bookstores. I can't imagine a town without a bookstore. I definitely cannot imagine Delhi without its bookstores. Like सांस लेने कहाँ जाएंगे? Every Delhiite has a personal favorite. Fakir Chand, Bahrisons, the Bookshop, Cafe Turtle. Get ready to explore the world of independent bookstores with us in Delhi Love. Today I'm excited to talk with Anuj Bahri, the owner of Bahrisons, one of Delhi's oldest bookstores.
So we are a partition family and we came with nothing. For the sanity of the mind, you do need to read. You can live in Bombay for all your life, but if you like books, you will come to Delhi just for books. Most people who actually read on the Kindle and something that they really love, they will go and buy a copy. I've been doing it since 1979. Why would I not remember what you liked?
So welcome Anuji, a very, very warm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very
We were just talking before we started rolling.
Yeah.
And about the name Bahrisons. You're saying that's not, I thought it's an iconic family name, but you're saying that was actually a middle name.
Yeah, it's actually a middle name for me and my dad. So my dad started using Bahri, and then it's a funny story. You know, I went to school, the principal was known to my dad, and so one of the boys from the store took me to school, and the principal asked, "Who's this?" So he says, "मैं Bahrisan से आया हूँ." अच्छा, Mr. Bahri का लड़का. So what is your name? Anuj. So it became Anuj Bahri.
Achha.
So all through schooling, it was Anuj Bahri, and then finally I started using Malhotra because, you know, technically on all my documentation and everything was Anuj Bahri Malhotra. So then we started using Bahri. But by caste, by last name, we are Malhotra. So the female...
I was going to ask that. On the females,
the women in the family use Malhotra, and we use Bahri.
Okay.
Isn't that good?
It is.
See, that's another twist in the tale. So Delhi is all full of twists and tales and kahani after kahani.
And coming to kahanis, tell me, let's start at the beginning. What does it take to open a bookstore? Is it as simple as loving books?
That's
love, really?
That's it. Yeah. And not just me, I mean anybody. You look at the history of bookshop, KD's bookshop, and Nini's running it now. So it's only the love of books that actually gets you into books. You don't need anything else. Somewhere down the line, if you are dealing in books, somebody provides you the funds, somebody provides you the space, और काम चल जाता है.
But आपके लिए तो, for you, it was an inherited love then, because the bookshop is started by
Well, not for my dad. Because it was very hard work then. We had nothing.
Yeah.
So we are a partition family and we came with nothing. So we started with where we are in Khan Market. It was 1/3 that size before. You know, we came with nothing. And when you come with nothing, you just need to survive. And survival is what taught everybody how to do things the right way. And I mean, my dad would have never dreamt that he would be a bookseller. And so he was good at teaching. He started teaching as well, maths, uh, hot headed, didn't get along with the faculty. And finally, he had to, he was asked to leave the school. So there was just no choice. And one thing led to another till a family friend who befriended our family showed us the way to a bookshop. And we're so grateful to that family, really. Um, if it wasn't for that particular family, I don't know what we'd be doing. As simple as that.
But normally children kind of rebel against what their parents do.
So everybody does. Of course, even I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to, join the forces like the rest of my family. I have a lot of people in the forces. And I also wanted to do it.
You look like the Bollywood image of a colonel
also. Yeah. So the thing is, my brother-in-law and I, when we stand together, so I look like the general and he doesn't. So, but it's life, so so then the other alternative was, because I love books and all of us at home love books. My mom still read she passed away this year when she was 91 and a half. And she loved books. She read till the last day. As simple as that.
Why are bookstores such an important part of Delhi? I personally don't find that, and I might be very biased when I say that, but I've studied in Bombay. And of course, I've been all across the country, but I don't find that, how important bookstores are for Delhi. Why are they such an important part? I mean, I can't imagine Delhi without its bookstores, independent bookstores.
Yeah, neither can I. I mean, even if it's not just independent bookstores, it's bookstores. Somewhere down the line, so Delhi has always been the culminating center for culture, no matter what it is. You may take Bombay, or you can live in Bombay for all your life. But if you like books, you will come to Delhi just for books. We get so many people from across the country, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, everywhere. Just for their book shopping, they would come to Delhi. Somehow it's to do with maybe the bureaucracy, because most bureaucracy at some stage or the other is posted to Delhi, and most bureaucracy reads. And you have some of the best schools in Delhi, which develop you to love books. And once you get into the habit, then...
I was just going to say that, is it because, we not only are a theatre city and artistically inclined city, but also the political capital.
It is.
And, you do, Khan Market being the hub,
well,
you do see a lot of bureaucrats and politicians. And
actually, it's just a culmination of too many cultures. You will have the best quality of diplomacy here. So, most diplomats are here.
Yes, yeah.
And most diplomats and visitors from across the world read. A lot of population in India doesn't read, but world over people read. And Delhi is like a mecca for books in the whole country. It used to be Madras before, but somehow the Tamil population just couldn't hold on to their bookstores. And you've got tons of bookstores there, but they are just textbook sellers. There is no cultural upbringing or cultural blooming of books in the rest of the country.
And I think there's also the concept of space. Now, like Delhi, we have the physical space. And somehow books give you that mind space. There is a connection to this space thing also.
That is true. No, it is there. See, every other city, you got Bombay. Like you said, you're from Bombay.
I'm not from Bombay.
But
I've
you studied in
Bombay. Yeah.
But you see, it's a business city. Nobody actually really cares about history and culture in Bombay. If they read, they just want to read management. They want to read children's books, and everybody wants their children to read, but they don't want to read.
I remember a friend of mine, just an acquaintance rather, asked me that how do your children read. I'm trying to get my child to read and he doesn't read. And she would ask me this, quite often, every time she would run into me at probably at your, in Khan Market or somewhere. So once I asked her, I said, do you read? And she's like, no. So I then how do you expect your children to?
No, so we've started a new program for this now, and soon in 24 from January, we'll try and implement that in every city. So the person who does our selections and runs a collection for children's books is going to start two, I won't say courses, but it's talks about how to write fantasy.
Oh, how lovely.
And storytelling for the young adult.
I mean, you of course started a special store only for children's books.
Yeah, we've got 4 of the special children's bookstores all over. We've got one Calcutta, one Gurgaon here, and in Vasantpur.
We're talking of space, and when Bahrisons expanded with getting in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
That was quite a novel concept, and I think bookstores probably needed that. That's like we all imagine you'll have books and you'll have coffee. How did you think of doing that?
See, all over the world, this concept is very old.
Yeah.
And in fact...
But we didn't have it so much in Delhi. One shop perhaps in Khan Market, Cafe Turtle was there.
Cafe Turtle was the one who actually started it here.
Yes.
But somehow they were more concentrating on food than coffee. So when we started, what we did was we did contracts with companies that are popular and, also good for us because we can take a larger space and do a coffee shop and a bookshop and share rentals. It's easier
economically
to do.
also it makes sense.
Yes, definitely. So the first store that we did was actually, if I'm not wrong, we did Saket. And that was a very large space we had taken. We'd taken 4,000 square foot, and that was easier for us to actually demarcate. And then we contracted with Blue Tokai, and now we have, I think, about 6 or 7 Blue Tokais with our bookstores in various cities, and it works really well for us.
No, it was quite frankly almost life-saving, because during the pandemic, that when the gradual opening started, so the coffee shops opened and one could quickly go and grab a book, because both the things were lifelines at that point of time.
And also the government was very kind to us because books became essentials, so we could actually open. So we actually shut only for a month. And then we opened up.
That says a lot, that books became essentials.
It's important because what would you do at home? Movies. Not everybody watches movies, or you can do binge watching. But for the sanity of the mind, you do need to read. I think that was a very good experience that we had with. During the pandemic.
Yeah. And, it was not so long ago that, market research, I think even till before there were these researches and all that, the hard copy, with, all these online versions coming in, Kindle and everything, that the hard copy is going to go away. That, and everybody's predicting that, this is, but it turns out it didn't happen because the satisfaction.
It can't happen. You see, you look at the...
I could frankly never take to it.
No,
I've never been able to read a book.
So it's a very simple system even today. Most people who actually read on the Kindle, a lot of people do read on the Kindle. We have nothing, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just another medium to read as long as they are reading. And something that they really love, they will go and buy a copy.
I said, that's interesting. Even after reading it,
that's the thing. Because holding a possession of a book is very different from just reading online. So that is something which never worried us. I mean, look at television, look at films, right? Doordarshan was the only thing. Then films came. Then various other online platforms.
Annihilation of the big film screen was always
as
predicted.
Simple as that. But you see, there was a suffering for a bit.
Yes.
But it didn't die out. I mean, there are places in India where only Doordarshan is available today.
Yeah.
So, a big channel or a Netflix will certainly be available, but somewhere it's not available. What do? Doordarshan.
Yeah.
So nothing has died out. It is just that things get affected. So there is nothing to worry. I think there's been a wonderful revival of the bookstore.
Yes. And the love for reading also somehow. Na?
About 30-35% readership has gone higher.
Is it post the pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are no worries there.
To your mind, what really makes buying a book from a bookstore, the act of going to a bookstore, browsing, picking it up, to me, like, they never just come across as businesses. There's a sense of I don't know. Like, for me, I hope I'm not talking completely intangible in the air. It does something for the soul. So there's this sense of
besides meeting me, right?
Besides yes, besides meeting
it's a relationship.
Yes, it's a sense of community and that human connection.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not just you, but once if you walk into your store, right from the doorman who opens it, they know you.
Of course they do.
And there would be it's not just the recommending, but the slight space
it's a personal
they make
relationship.
for you. Yes, it's
So that's something that most of our stores we pride ourselves with. We try and know our customers better, right? So there are some customers who actually come in not to talk to me. They actually come to talk to Mithilesh ji. So Khan Market is run by Mithilesh ji, and he's the only person I know who has had full page features in national dailies on him. It's called Dial M for Mithilesh. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So he's a life in his own self. But it's only because of the knowledge and the service he provides to the customers. He never forgets a face.
Yeah, he doesn't forget it.
Never, ever. Yeah. So, and he knows whatever you've taken the last time, he will remember it. So when we hire, all our teams, no matter who the person is, will know what you like.
Is it something you consciously teach, or is it just because
that's part of our training?
The part of the training
part
and
of
the
our
culture.
Training. Yeah. So even if there is somebody who joins us new, has to go through that process, has to go through serving at Khan Market first. Otherwise, the service angle doesn't come. Everything else is pretty sanitized, Yes. I mean, if you're in a mall or something, who cares?
Yeah.
But you go to a store in the mall, you will get that personal feeling straight away. Because we know who you are, we know what you want. If there is any recommendation, we know what to tell you. It's as simple as that.
No, that's that. It's lovely. I haven't been to the mall stores, but Saket, yes, with the coffee shop, and Khan Market is my personal favorite. But tell me, a bookstore, and to be asked very candidly, doesn't seem like the kind of business that is for makes too much sense on a profit, on a scale. Is my assessment correct?
Okay, so one small quote. My dad used to always say, if you keep your needs low, you will always be in profit. There is enough respect in this trade. There is enough money for a good sustenance. If you have respect, people want to meet you, right? Whether you have your money or you don't have the money, it's a people's business, all right? It's like friends. So if you have friends from school, do you really care if he's actually making money or not making money? A friend is a friend, right? So is a bookseller. We become friends to people. I mean, it is so heartening to see. Just yesterday, so one of the politicians who's increased in age now can't come to the store, but picks up the phone and speaks to you one-on-one and wants to read something, asks you to bring it. Now it's a personal feeling.
But also for you to do that.
Why
to provide
not?
that service.
We do that. We've been doing it all our life. We've been doing it all our life. I mean, the kids today only understand delivery from Zomato and all these things.
Yes,
But
that's
most bookshops all over India, it's not just here, all over India deliver to your house free of charge.
Okay.
It's something which is inherent to the book trade. I don't know why people don't care about it.
I didn't even know this,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
because I was going to ask you that, what about the book reading culture and people visiting bookstores with the rise of online giants? Like, you can actually buy a book on Amazon and
Yeah,
e-retail.
yeah, and it'll be somebody like me who will
Huh.
be selling it on Amazon
Huh.
because Amazon is just a platform.
Yeah,
It's
but
not a
it's like
bookstore.
I don't even then I still get the hard copy, but I
Yes.
don't enjoy the process of going and looking. And a lot of people said, "Kar lo Amazon se order,"
Right.
and I don't enjoy it.
No, but that's fine. That's another medium. But
Hmm.
you see, this I'm very, very surprised about this. Most people using technology don't understand it. They just press a button. That's it. So you're pressing a button at Amazon, and there is a distributor, a seller. There is somebody physical who's packing the book,
Packing and
sending it to you, or bringing it to your home. You see, people don't care. That's the only problem. But the process is just the same. Exactly how I started. I joined my dad in 79 in the business. And we would deliver to your house. I have done enough deliveries in my life. And we did it in 79, 80. Not today. And people find it really, really funny when you say, oh, we deliver. Really?
Yeah. And free of cost.
Of course. Within the city is always free of cost.
So has the rise of these online giants affected sales, or has it not made any difference? Or did it once affect and...
Look, like I said, when it comes new, it has an effect. But then everything mellows down. Everything becomes streamlined. Simple as that. We learn to live with technology. Technology learns to live with us. If there are no suppliers, where's technology going to go? And if there's no technology, how are we going to work?
Speaking of technology, do you use online platforms to
everything?
push?
We've had one for 20 years.
Actually,
We've had a website sales for 20 years. Now,
you use social media like Bahrisons on Instagram?
Everybody does that.
Everything,
We have an organic... so, for example, our Instagram page is... we've just started it, I think, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I think we are touching about 40,000 people now. It's all organic. We don't... It's just what we offer. I mean, if I need to buy numbers, what good is it?
Yeah.
Not going to help.
So even that is, that's also your community that is being...
It is.
And, now we were talking of online platforms with all the discounts and all being offered. Can a bookstore hold a space or that sense of discovery? For me, I could go to a bookstore to buy a particular thing, but then I might, end up looking and discovering something that can't be replicated
You see,
anywhere.
the thing is, there are two ways to sell. One is the discounted way. And if you notice, the discounts technically are only on the books that are top sellers. If you have the top 10, so for example, my company originates a top 10 list of the week, which is syndicated to about 20, 27 newspapers, something like that. Now, when we create that list is specific to us and it's by numbers. So if a book is actually selling, it will be there, right? Unfortunately, most online platforms have a discount on the top 20 books only. For example, you've got the new thriller, right? Locust, that has just released. Now that's a latest top 10. So you will have a discount on it. But when you want to buy history, when you want to buy John le Carre or classics, where is the discount? There's no discount. But people don't realize it, especially the younger generation. But that's okay. Like I said, it's understandable. We all have to survive in the same platform. And you'll be surprised how the younger generation is far more curious than us because they haven't read. And when they see so many books that they've only heard of, They come, they visit, they sit there for hours going through the books and will walk out with about 3 or 4 books. Definitely. Now, you can do that sitting in your room, just press a button and the book will come. But you lose the experience. And the younger generation today has now realized it. It's more of the experience than just the discount. Yes, you will get a better discount online. Sometimes even we have to on popular titles. There is no choice. We have to reduce the price. For example, Harry Potter came, right? Now, Harry Potter, everybody was giving 20% discount. We still didn't offer 20% discount. We only gave 10 because that's the maximum that we could give on it. After all, I've got expenses, right? But just like any other seller, we also sold 2,000 copies. Why not? So for me, it's the experience of coming to a store and buying it rather than just pressing a button. I mean, look, it's very easy to press a button.
Yeah. But we were talking of also, community, how bookstores build a community. Do you think also add value to the community they are in? Like,
Of course it does.
and make your own, what kind of value does a bookstore bring to a place?
A lot. You'll be so surprised. There is this little small bookstore. It's a new chain. I won't say chain. It's a small family-owned thing, Shelfie Books. So what they do is they encourage people to come and talk of their experiences as a book reader. That's how you build communities. Now, I don't have the space for it, but somebody who has the space for it would definitely do it. Why not? And that is how you and I would meet. Maybe we meet a third person, maybe a fourth person, and that is how networking and communities start. As simple as that. And I don't have to do it. I just have to put the platform there and somebody will come and use it.
The bookshop being in Khan Market. How does it add value to that whole experience? There is, in terms of business also, like, I would...
Look, touch wood, Khan Market is doing very well. Because a lot of people associate Khan Market with bookshops.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
We used to at one time have 6 bookshops here. And then remain 5, then 4, then 3. So, things change. But the popularity of Khan Market technically remains only with 2 things as of today. You've got the cafes here and you got the bookshops. You got Anoki, you got Fab India, you got everything there. But I think when somebody wants an experience, then they come to Khan Market.
And also, I again think there's a concept of the space, and also like me, when throughout the years that my kids, if I have to take them to the market, then if I take them to the cafe, but then I get to go to the bookshop. So it was always a trade-off.
That's why we started Book Cafe together.
Yeah,
so
that was
you
perfect.
Don't have to go too far.
That has been one of the big, I think, biggest boons for Delhi.
So a new store that we are doing in Calcutta is on a different model actually. So the present one that we have in Calcutta is also a bookstore and a cafe together, but it's on the Park Street where people can't park. It's a very busy street, so you can't stop over there. And we realized this, and we've just taken a new building. So we've rented a new building now, and it's a glass dome.
Achha.
Yeah, it's glass all sides, so there's natural light the whole day. And we got the cafe on the ground floor, and the bookshop on the mezzanine level. That should be opening up, I think, 1st of Jan, something like that. And it's going to be an experience.
Yeah, you're wanting me to go to Calcutta.
Why not?
To go to Calcutta,
Why
not just for this bookshop. It sounds
Why not?
amazing.
Look, we can only create experiences. Why would you want to go to a bookshop if you have nothing to gain? I mean, you can get coffee anywhere.
Yeah, true. Tell me, as an independent bookstore, what are the biggest challenges that you've...
Space.
Space, yeah.
Space is very expensive. So if today I was to start a bookshop in Khan Market, my minimum rental would be about 10 lakhs. Minimum
That's why I was
rental.
asking that, how, the sense of
So I'm still on old
profitability.
rent.
Yeah.
Still on old rent. So, but the old rent is also pretty high, na? I mean, that's why bookshops shut from there, because
Because
the
the
rental was
profit
just so high.
margins by nature, and it's not up to you to set the prices.
We can't.
Yeah, that's the other
So it's
challenge.
not like clothes.
Yeah.
It's not like a mug of coffee.
Yeah, the
It's
prices are predetermined and
as
fixed, and they
simple
come
as that.
to you.
And there's
Yes.
nothing I can do about it.
Yes.
Now,
true.
it's an amazing thing. You have a bottle of water. It says a MRP on it. But you take it from a restaurant, the same thing, he will charge you 3 times. And you can't argue.
But you can't do that with a book.
But with a bookshop, everybody argues. Why are you charging more? I can't charge more. So what do I do? And then I have to give a discount also.
Yes, because the bigger players are doing that. Tell me, what is your relationship with your customers? You told me about,
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. We just love our customers. We know all of them. If you have visited us once and we have spoken, we will have a one-on-one relationship. We try not to forget. Of course, age being the barrier now, sometimes one forgets, but there is always newer blood coming in. So, for example, Mithilesh ji. So Mithilesh ji has an assistant who's a full-fledged sales boy himself, and he's trained in exactly the same manner. So all the customers who come into the store also know Alam now. So, his knowledge is brilliant. It's all what you can retain. We don't go back to the computer. We've got systems and computers.
Yes, I've seen that.
For everything. But we don't go back because we know our stocks. I mean, look, it's just 100,000 titles. How difficult can that be? If you've seen a book, don't you remember it?
Not everybody.
No, but you see, it's you have to have space in your mind also. No?
Yes.
So if I'm hiring an MBA or a master's, he's got no space in his head. Where is he going to get my information in his head?
True.
That's the only criteria. I mean, whereas if I've got somebody who's 12th pass or an 11th pass, depending on which year you passed out on, you will have so much space in your mind to understand what I'm trying to explain to you. And you will soak it up because the mind is a sponge. There's space for everything, provided you want to do it.
Tell me, speaking of customers, who's by far your most favorite regular?
Everybody. We don't take names of customers. No, we don't take names of customers. You see, every customer is important for us. Everybody has a different need. And everybody...
and you recognize the need the person is coming. We all go searching for something to a bookshop.
So we can see it in your eyes. That's why we are mind readers also now. So all we need to do is sit down and chat with you for 2 minutes. That's all. It's very easy. Look, it's like clothes. Either you wear pants or you wear suits. And, it's so easy to understand. It's trick of the trade now. I mean, we've done it forever. I mean, look, I've been doing it since 1979. Why would I not remember what you liked? It's
or you know what to recommend to the person.
Sure, because you are going to run only in that sphere of or the area of your expertise, your likes. So for example, my daughter, she experiments with writing. So she started with documenting oral histories, and she did that for generation 1, then she did for generation 3, and now she's written a really beautiful love story. It's a novel. How many authors do you know would experiment? It's tough now, but you know your plus and minus, so I think it works out well.
So safe to say she's your favorite author?
Well, she's a very big author, actually. I won't even say favorite.
You have to tell her name for our listeners.
Anchal. Anchal Malhotra. And her most famous book that she is remembered with is called Remnants of a Separation, which documented the history of the first generation during partition. But her new book, which is Book of Everlasting Things, is so beautiful. It's got an American edition, it's got a Dutch edition, now soon getting a French, German, Italian, and of course an Indian editions available. So she's popular. Yes, she's a good author. She's one of my favorite authors.
Who's the second?
No, actually, I'm a die-hard thriller reader. I love developing thrillers and also reading thrillers. I think writing thrillers is a very, very difficult job. For example, if you're a crime writer, you're not a criminal, you're not a police person, but yet you are writing crime, and yet you are solving crime. I think it's creditable on the person how much research the person would have done to actually put himself or herself in the shoes of a criminal, to be able to get the best, people to really stay with them.
And tell me, speaking of, we're talking of different kind of writers, and you mentioned Anchal, who's a young writer in every sense. How can, given that, you work with your own set of challenges, how can, independent bookstores support young authors?
We do actually.
Yeah, how do you do that?
For example, most young authors only want to write what is selling. Now, that's a very big difficulty in Indian writing. Young talent is not coming in, which is original. So, for example, I think it was the year 2008. So we developed the first time ever a mythical fantasy. So this was the Meluha book. So that's a creation by my team. And it was experimental at that time, but there was a void for it. People wanted it. So Harry Potter is the answer to international fantasy, fantastical writing, and India had nothing. So that filled the gap. And today it is sitting at something like 7 or 8 million copies.
Bahrisons also has a printing.
We have an agency and a very, very small publishing division. Something that editors don't understand, and I'm very passionate about myself. So we put it in our own printing program, publishing program, but it's a very small publishing program. So for example, Meluha first got published in Tara, which is my imprint, because nobody wanted it. And then it became successful and everybody wanted it. So, I'm happy to have contributed my little bit into that space.
And to getting in a new genre and new...
Why not? And today, I get authors who come and ask, what should we write? How can I tell you what you write? You can only write what you can write. So that's become a very big issue now. That kids want to only write what is selling and what makes them money.
Yeah, that's. But any favorite book on Delhi?
So many.
What do you recommend?
So many. Actually,